Hi everybody and welcome along to the Big Quiz Night In. This is episode 178 and it's great to see some of you here in the chat already. As always, we like to say hello to people who are joining us here tonight first off. So welcome along to Dave, hi to Millie, we've got Sue in the chat, we've got Jody saying hi everybody, and Andy's there as well watching on YouTube. He says good evening all, may not be here for the whole session tonight, just finished 2.5 hours on a course. 5 till 7:30, he's knackered. My word, mate. I'm not surprised. I'm glad you're here for now, but feel free to just doze off when you want. What a day. Okay, Catherine's here as well. Says, good evening, everyone. Looking forward to the quiz. It's been a while. Great to have you back. So we have got the usual rundown of 3 random quiz rounds for you this evening, followed by our survey says, and we've got Tenable back tonight after doing a couple of times in a row, I think, where we've done catchphrase. We're doing Tenable again this evening. So look forward to that at the end of the quiz. And yeah, let's get into it, shall we? With the first activity of the evening, which is our kids' question to kick off the show. And we got Rue back here to ask us a question to kick off the show. Before we get into the 3 main quiz rounds of the evening, he has got his Halloween-themed hot chocolate that Mum's made for him. Enormous Halloween marshmallows in it.
It's got a really big ghost one and a pumpkin.
You're going to drop them, yeah, leave them in there. Dan's in the chat saying, oh, sorry, Michael Dan is in the chat saying, hi, everyone. Welcome along. Thank you for tuning in. For this first question, then, I'm going to bring it up on screen. Ruben's going to read it out, and then you need to guess in the comments from the multiple choices what you think the answer is. And this is always tends to be themed around something that he's into at the moment or in general or learn at school. In this case, because we're getting closer to Halloween, but we haven't got a quiz near Halloween here. So because of that, we're going to do a Halloween question now. So with that said, here's your question.
In which year was the original Five Nights at Freddy's game released? Is it A, 2010, B, 2012, C, 2014, or D, 2016?
Yes. So you recently watched the film, didn't you?
Yeah. After ages and ages of begging.
Yes.
Every day. Have you looked into it? Have you looked into it?
Can I watch it? Can I watch it? I can't complain, because when I was your age, I'm pretty sure there's a few films I watched that I was probably a little bit too young for, that I begged and begged and begged, and then eventually was allowed to watch. So yeah,
the next thing I'm going to be doing is begging you to watch it in theatres.
I don't think I can get you to the cinema to watch it. We'll see. We'll see about that one. Right. We've got some guesses coming in. Yes, have a guess in the comments just for this question. The 3 quiz rounds coming up will be not like that. I'll explain for the new people watching what that means. But for now, have a guess in the comments. You get 2 bonus points you're allowed to use on your score tally for the remaining quiz rounds if you get this correct in the chat. So do leave a comment. We've got some guesses coming in. Don't worry if you haven't got a clue. Some of you may not have even heard of this. These are some scary games that kids are all into these days and have been very much so since it was released, when you'll find out in a moment. But there was a film of it that came out a couple of years ago as well, wasn't it? So yes, let's see then. We've got Jody going with C. We've got Dave saying C, question mark. Sue is going with C as well. Catherine says B. We actually have no idea. That's, again, it's fine. Jody's never heard of it either. Andy says C for me, never heard of it. It's popular with the kids these days. So we can now reveal, yeah, all right, and maybe some bigger kids. We can now reveal though that the answer is
indeed C.
C is the answer. It's 2014. Very well done for those of you that said C. So we say well done to
Jody.
Well done to
Dave.
Well done to
Sue.
Well done to
Andy.
Andy. Purely because there's more room for the arrow. No, don't give me that. I can move it if I need to. Look, see? But that is the wrong answer, so no. Yeah, very funny. But look, it's that easy.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
The creator of the game released the sequel only within a few months, and everyone thought it was going to be rushed, but it turned out being one of the greatest games.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's some quick development then. Must have. I imagine he reused a lot of the first game to help make the second one, maybe.
Yeah, it's pretty similar games.
Well, there we go. Oh, Millie's just come up in the chat saying C as well. So you will get bonus points then. I know there's a bit of a delay sometimes between the chats and when we see them. But yes, you get bonus points if you said C.
And I
2
finished
bonus
my
points.
chocolate.
You finished it already?
Yeah.
That was supposed All right, fine. You will see them again in 2 weeks' time.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Zombie apocalypse.
Oh, and we're back. Right then, everybody. So we're going to move on to our 3 quiz rounds now. We have got Where in the World up first, sort of a geography round, sort of. We're going to do a pop music trivia round, which many of you are familiar with, I'm sure. And then we're going to do a pop luck trivia round, which is just your general knowledge round that we normally finish off the 3 quiz rounds with at the moment. Then we're going to get into our game shows rounds. That's where we'll do an Our Survey Says Family Fortunes question. That'll all be up on screen as usual, followed by Tenable. We'll have our Tenable Tower on screen again, and I've got 3 of those for you, taken straight from one of the episodes of the show. So some really interesting questions to get you thinking there too. Yes, but thanks all for joining me this evening. We're going to crack on now with Where in the World as our first question round. From now on, do not put guesses in the chat until later on when we get into the game shows round. These 3 quiz rounds, you just keep your answers to yourself. Then at the end, I'll reveal the answers for all of the 15 questions per quiz round. You can then tell me how well you did at the end of each round. You can leave a comment with your team's scores if you wish, and I'll give you all shout outs along the way as we do. You can also see there's a countdown conundrum on screen. If you get that right, you can give yourself 2 bonus points, and there'll be 3 of those throughout the evening as well, 1 for each of the question rounds to keep you thinking in between the questions that I'll ask you now. You can tell I've said that a few times, can't you? All right, here we go. Question number 1. In which city in India is the Taj Mahal? In which city in India is the Taj Mahal? Question number 2. Table Mountain overlooks which African city? Table Mountain overlooks which African city? Question number 3 now. Question 3. In which city in the world could you visit Strawberry Fields, John Lennon Memorial Park? In which city in the world could you visit Strawberry Fields, John Lennon's Memorial Park? Name the city there for 1 more point. Question number 4 is for 2 points then. Question 4. Oh, I can see there's some more comments coming in as well. I'll have a look at those in a moment. Question 4. In which 2 English cities could you see the Bridge of Sighs? In which 2 English cities could you see the Bridge of Sighs? One point for each of those. Over to the chat then. Millie, you've climbed Table Mountain twice. That's incredible. Well done, you. Yeah, I've not been to that part of the world before. Mind you, there's lots of places I haven't been that I'd like to, but yeah. Very cool. Okay, next question. Question number 5. In which tower is Big Ben housed in London? Remember, Big Ben is the bell, not the tower. Common mistake made there. In which tower is Big Ben housed in London? Question number 6. Which cities could you find the Bollywood and Lollywood film industries? Which cities could you find the Bollywood and Lollywood film industries? Question number 7 now. Question 7. Which fictional country is home to Prince T'Challa, the Black Panther? Which fictional country is home to Prince T'Challa, the Black Panther? Question number 8 now. Question 8. This is for 3 points. Question 8. Which 3 countries are referred to as the Baltic states? 1 point for each. Which 3 countries are referred to as the Baltic states? Question number 9. Which American state was the birthplace of Barack Obama? Which American state was the birthplace of Barack Obama? All right, the next question, and question number 10 for another 2 points. Question 10. Niagara Falls sits on the border of which Canadian province and which US state? Niagara Falls sits on the border of which Canadian province and which US state? Question 11 then. Question number 11. The statue of Christ the Redeemer overlooks which city? The statue of Christ the Redeemer overlooks which city? Question number 12 then. Question 12 is next. In which European countries could you visit the theme parks called Portaventura, De Efteling, and Tivoli Gardens? In which European countries could you visit the theme parks called Portaventura, De Efteling, and Tivoli Gardens? 1 point for each, 3 different countries for 3 points. Question number 13 and question 13. In which country would you be if you were hiking to Machu Picchu? In which country would you be if you were hiking to Machu Picchu? Question 14 then. Question number 14. Which countries are home to the airlines called LOT, KLM, and TAP? LOT, KLM, and TAP. Which countries are home to the airlines LOT, KLM, and TAP? I'm going to pop those in the chat so you can see the letters. There we go. So for 3 points there. Question number 15. this is your final question. You can ask me after this one for repeats of any of the questions so far. If I've gone through them too quickly, if you want to repeat, that's fine. Just let me know in the comments which ones you want me to repeat. Question 15. In which countries in the world could you visit the CN Tower, Sky Tower, and the Belem Tower? Belem, B-E-L-E-M. In which countries in the world could you visit the CN Tower, Sky Tower, and the Belem Tower? For another 3 points. That is the end of the Where in the World question round. So before I go through the answers, give you a little bit of thinking time now. Let me know again if you want a repeat of any of those questions. I'll do that for you. And as I do with every quiz round, there's normally a few things to remind you of in case you missed it on the front page as soon as the quiz was live. I was advertising dates for the upcoming quizzes. So we've got, in terms of Facebook Live quizzes and YouTube Live quizzes like this one, we are going to be live again on the 4th and the 18th of November. And then the Christmas special this year will be on the 16th of December. That'll be the only Facebook, YouTube Live show I do in December. So that'll be the Christmas special. Save the date. 4th and 18th of November and the 16th of December for your remaining shows of the year in terms of Facebook Lives. Right, I've got some repeats then. I'll remind you of those at the end as well. So, let's do them in numerical order. So we're going to do 8, 12, 14, and 15. So question 8, which 3 countries are referred to as the Baltic states? Which 3 countries are referred to as the Baltic states? Question 12 was, in which European countries could you visit the theme parks called Portaventura, De Efteling, and Tivoli Gardens? Question 14, which countries are home to the airlines called LOT, L-O-T, KLM, and TAP, T-A-P? And they're in the chat as well. And then number 15 was, in which countries in the world could you visit the CN Tower, Sky Tower, and the Belem Tower, B-E-L-E-M? Yes, so that's the dates for the upcoming quizzes for the rest of the year. And then all being well, I'm back in January, but I'll confirm those dates closer to the time. Of course, there's still Patreon quizzes. So next week, it will be Patreon quiz night. So that means we'll be on Google Meet as our usual video call. I'll talk more about what we're going to do later. If you're at the last one, we are going to do similar to the last one. If you'd like to join that, you can do that as well. Just let me know. And I'll get you an invite. There's a free trial. And then it's £2 a month minimum after that. But it's also, there are tiers to it depending on how much you want to do to support me. It's all very appreciated. Right, we're going to go through the answers then for this round. Let me know what your scores are. And remember, 2 bonus points if you can get that countdown conundrum. Your time is almost up to work that out. I'll reveal the answer at the end of this. Question 1, the Taj Mahal is in Agra. Question 2, Table Mountain overlooks which African city? It is Cape Town. Question 3, in which city in the world could you visit Strawberry Fields, John Lennon Memorial Park? It's in New York City. Specifically, it's within Central Park. Question 4, in which 2 English cities could you see the Bridge of Sighs? They are in Oxford and Cambridge. Question 5, in which tower is Big Ben housed in London? It is the Elizabeth Tower. Question 6, which cities could you find the Bollywood and Lollywood film industries? It is Mumbai in India and Lahore in Pakistan. So Bollywood, India, Lollywood, Pakistan. Question 7, which fictional country is home to Prince T'Challa in The Black Panther? It is Wakanda. Question 8, which 3 countries are referred to as Baltic states? They are Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. Question 9, which American state was the birthplace of Barack Obama? It's Hawaii. Question 10. Niagara Falls sits on the border of which Canadian province and which US state? It is between Ontario and New York State. Question 11. The statue of Christ the Redeemer overlooks which city? That is Rio de Janeiro. Question 12. In which European countries could you visit the theme parks called Portaventura, De Efteling, and Tivoli Gardens? It is Spain, the Netherlands, and Denmark. Question 13. In which country would you be in if you were hiking to Machu Picchu? That is in Peru. Question 14. LOT, KLM, and TAP are the airlines for Poland, the Netherlands, and Portugal. Question 15. In which countries of the world could you visit the CN Tower, Sky Tower, and the Bellum Tower? It is Canada, New Zealand, and Turkey. Now, the answer for the countdown conundrum for 2 extra points is confiding. Confiding for 2 bonus points. Right, tally up your scores then. Let me know how many you got in this round, and then we'll move on to round 2, which will be our pop music trivia round. Let's see how well you did. And there'll be another countdown conundrum, of course, in that next round. Pop music trivia will have the usual mix of 15 questions, multiple points available for some of the questions. It's a bit different to our normal format, but still the same kind of concept at least. Right, Sue and the Donuts. Oh no, that was your request for repeats. You haven't put that yet. Okay, Jodie's there saying 6 + 2 + 2, using the kids' bonus points there you earned earlier on as well. Very good. Catherine says 11 for the not so golden oldies. Well done. The Donuts, there we go. Scored 15, got the conundrum, and used the kids' question bonus points as well. I see. Okay. Couple of teams using it early on. You can only use those 2 bonus points in the 1 round, remember? And for anybody new watching, Dave's got 21 points. I think we might have found a specialist subject. Another geography fan there. Well done on done one on the 3-pointers. Excellent work. Okay, Andy says 15 + 2 + 2 for the kids' question, so 19 for me. Taking the 2 extra points while I'm awake. This is a very sensible strategy. Fair play, mate. Well done. You're doing well. Yes. Any more for any more? Feel free to put your comments in. I'll just see if I'm not missing anything on another screen. Not yet. Okay, so let's go then to pop music trivia, I think, for the next round. So, as I said, 15 more questions here. If you haven't posted your scores yet, don't worry, comment anyway, because we'll still see it. You'll still get your shout out. I try and read out all the comments that come in. So just comment anyway, and the chat continues, as you've seen. Regulars know. We've got 15 more questions, and all on pop music trivia, any era of pop music. Michael says they've got 12 points for us. Well done. Good effort. Let's see how you fare in this next one. Thank you for sharing your score. So here we go then with the pop music round, and you've got another countdown conundrum there for another 2 points. Millie says they got 12 in the last round as well. Great effort. Okay, I think that's everybody in that's watching live now. Question 1 then. Which colourful singer's real name was Priscilla White? Which colourful singer's real name was Priscilla White? There's your first question. Okay, then the next question then in this round. Which Italian group were Ride on Time in 1989? Not me only discovering today that this band were Italian. I had no idea. I've DJ'd on it for years. Played that song many times. No idea they were Italian. Which Italian group were Ride on Time in 1989? For 1 point. Question number 3. Which singer had a top 10 hit in 1995 with It's All So Quiet? Which singer had a top 10 hit in 1995 with It's All So Quiet? Question number 4 now. Question 4. Which artist went to number 1 in the UK charts with My Ding-a-Ling in 1972? Which artist went to number 1 in the UK charts with My Ding-a-Ling in 1972? Right, then let's go to the next question then, shall we? Question number 5. This is for 3 points. Put these acts in order with the most UK number ones first. Calvin Harris, Ed Sheeran, and Rihanna. Put these acts in order with the most UK number ones first. Calvin Harris, Ed Sheeran, and Rihanna. 3 points, or up to 3 points, I should say, depending on how many you get right in the correct order. So Calvin Harris, Ed Sheeran, and Rihanna, most UK number ones first. Okay, next question. In question number 6, which song was a UK number 1 hit for Last Ketchup in 2002? Which song was a UK number 1 hit for Last Ketchup in 2002? I'll tell you an interesting fact about that song when we get to the answer. Again, I only discovered it recently. Question 7 now. Question number 7. Which mod band's biggest hit was Poison Ivy in 1980? Which mod band's biggest hit was Poison Ivy in 1980? Question number 8. Who sang A Little Ditty About Jack and Diane in 1982? That's a great song. Who sang A Little Ditty About Jack and Diane in 1982? Question number 9. How was larger than life singer Michael Lee Aday better known in the world of music? How was larger than life singer Michael Lee Aday better known in the world of music? What was his stage name, effectively? Question number 10. Question 10 for you now. Which US based rockers charted with No More Mr. Nice Guy and Skin of My Teeth in the 1990s? Which US based rockers charted with No More Mr. Nice Guy and Skin of My Teeth in the 1990s? All right, question 11 now. Which duo were respectable in the 1980s? Which duo were respectable in the 1980s? Right, question 12. Whose greatest hits album was called Shining Like a National Guitar? Whose greatest hits album was called Shining Like a National Guitar? Question number 13. Which indie band charted with Size of a Cow in 1991? Which indie band charted with Size of a Cow in 1991? Question number 14. In what year did Stevie Wonder have his first UK chart entry? If you get this exactly right, it's worth 2 points. If you're 1 year either side, you get 1 point for being close. I'm going to give you a hint and say it's a very famous sporting year as well. I'm not going to narrow it down more than that. In what year did Stevie Wonder have his first UK chart entry? 2 points if you get it exactly right, 1 point if you're either side, and your clue for this one is it was a very big sporting year. Question number 15, then the final question this round. Marie Fredriksson and Per Gessel, I think that's how you say it. Per Gessel, Gessle, might be Gessel, made up which 1990s vocal duo? Marie Fredriksson and Per Gessel made up which 1990s vocal duo? For a final point for question 15. So have a little bit of thinking time, but let me know also what questions you'd like me to repeat. That's the end of that round. Give you a little bit more thinking time for it, as always. Yes. Don't know how much more there is for me to talk to you about actually today. Of course, there's the link in the description of the video, which is in every video. If you click on that, it will take you to a page which will list out all the different places you can support me. There's a whole bunch of social media icons there. Click on those if you've got them. You can follow Big Quiz Night In. And I provide loads of free quiz content over those in my spare time. What little I get these days. And that includes also the merch store. There's a link to a merch store if you want to get Big Quiz Night In merch, anything with this logo on, loads of different stuff. And there's occasional sales there too. There was a sale last week, as I mentioned to some of you, but yes, there's always more coming. So do let me know if you're interested in any of that. The link is in the description. Not seeing any comments for repeats, so I'm guessing you're okay with what they were. We will go through the answers, I think. Okay, let's do this then. So, question number 1. Which colourful singer's real name was Priscilla White, that is, Cilla Black? Question 2. Which Italian group were Ride on Time in 1989? It's Black Box. Question 3. Which singer had a top 10 hit in 1995 with It's Oh So Quiet? It is Bjork. Question 4. Which artist went to number 1 in the UK charts with My Ding-a-Ling in 1972? It was Chuck Berry. Question 5. The correct order for these acts based on most UK number 1s first. Ed Sheeran has 14, then Calvin Harris with 11, then Rihanna with 9. So if you got them in that order, that's 3 points. If you got one mixed up with another, then that's potentially you get 1 point there. And then other than that, it'll be nothing. Okay, question 6. Which song was a UK number 1 hit for Last Ketchup in 2002? It's called the Ketchup Song. The Ketchup Song, or A Sarah Hay, because that's the word they say in it. but although it sounds Spanish, it doesn't actually mean anything. The whole song is basically gibberish. It's just meant to sound a bit like Spanish. And it's because there was a DJ playing a set once, and somebody came up to them and said, "Oh, can you play that song?" And it sounded to the DJ like they said, "A Sarah Hay," and then basically how that song goes. And what they actually meant was, "I said a hip hop to hip, the hippie dibbit," and it was the Rapper's Delight rap. That's what they were trying to say. And it inspired the DJ because he couldn't think of what this song was. So this DJ really liked the sound of it. And then the rest is history because the last catch-up song was born from that. So yeah, a Sarah Hay means nothing. It's gibberish. There you go. Every day's a school day. Your next question is number 7, and it was, which mod band's biggest hit was Poison Ivy in 1980? It is the Lambrettas. Question 8, who sang a little ditty about Jack and Diane in 1982? It is John Cougar Mellencamp or John Cougar or John Mellencamp, depending on how he's feeling on the day you ask him. Question 9, any of those is fine for a point. That is an iconic disco song. You love all the old school disco hits. Yes, me too. Nice Factory ketchup song. I know, I really enjoyed learning that. I was like, oh, I'm going to say that. I like it. Yeah. Such a cheesy pop song, but, you know, yeah, gibberish. Who knew? Question number 9 then. How was the larger-in-life singer Michael Leaday better known in the world of music? He's Meatloaf. Sadly, he passed away in 2022. But yes, Meatloaf, iconic rock singer. Question 10, which US-based rockers charted with No More Mr. Nice Guy and Skin of My Teeth in the 90s? It was Megadeth. Question 11, which duo were respectable in the 80s? That's Mel and Kim. Question, that's a 1-point answer there because it's one act, Mel and Kim. Question 12, whose greatest hits album was called Shining Like a National Guitar? That's Paul Simon. Question 13, which indie band charted with Size of a Cow in 1991? It is Wonder Stuff. Question 14, in what year did Stevie Wonder have his first UK chart entry? 2 points if you put 1966. Said it was a big sporting year because that's the last time England won the World Cup in men's football. Question 15, 1 point if you put 65 or 67, 2 points if you put 66. Question 15, Marie Fredriksson and Per Gessle made up which 90s vocal duo? They were Roxette. Now, the answer for the Countdown Conundrum is Patenters, or Patenters, depending on where you're from. Patenters. So 2 points if you got that correct. If you haven't used the kids' bonus points questions from the start and you did get the correct answer, you could use them now or save them for the general knowledge round coming up next, as always. And let me know how many points you've got in the chat, and I'll give you all some shout outs again. $10 points for Jodie. 10 points for Dave as well. How's the rest of you got on then? Let's see those comments. Donuts have got 14 points, no conundrum. It was a tricky one actually, this one, in fairness. 15, no conundrum for Andy. Good effort, that's a good score. $15 points then for Andy. How are we doing with the rest of you then? Not so good, 8 points for the not so golden oldie, says Tony. Yes, Catherine and Tony, well done. Good effort. No, see, do you know what? Sue says isn't Meatloaf Marvin. It's really strange you say that because I googled it to double check and it came back as Michael. but I had it down as Marvin. But I googled it, and multiple sites were saying his name was Michael. Michael Leoday. Yeah, yeah, it just says Michael. I don't know. Maybe the internet lies. Who knew? Yeah. Sorry if there's any confusion there. No, yeah, Sue says isn't Meatloaf Marvin. Maybe he was both. Maybe he was Marvin Michael. I just went by what it came back with on that one. All right, let's go then to our potluck round. And yes, if there's any more scores, please do post them. And let's see right now how we get on in the potluck general knowledge round. Okay, so you've got a new tiebreaker there. There's a tricky one, I believe. This one's a tricky one. But 2 bonus points nonetheless if you get it right. This is the last chance to use bonus points from the kids question at the start for those who said C as the correct answer. I think he was born as Marvin, then changed it to Michael. Oh, okay. Interesting. So he's born as Marvin, changed it to Michael, and then had a stage name Meatloaf. There you go. We're both right. Right, here we go then with another round. This is potluck, general knowledge, any subject goes, and we are actually kicking off with a music question. Who was the front man for the group called Culture Club? Who was the front man in the group called Culture Club? Question number 2, this is for 2 points. This week, you may know, is the Hindu Festival of Light, around about this time every year, give or take. But what are the 2 names it is traditionally given to the Hindu Festival of Light? What are the 2 names? 1 point for each. I found out it had 2 names. I mean, there's technically others, but there are 2 main traditional names this week is given for the Festival of Light. One more common than the other. Depends on who you speak to, I suppose. But yes, I was randomly scrolling on TikTok, as I quite often am in my spare time, and news round came up. The kids news round from CBBC had their own channel, and they were posting their news clips, and they were explaining all about it. And I learned a lot from watching that as well. And one of the things was that it had 2 names. There you go. You'll hear about the other one in a mo if you don't know already. So the 2 names for the Hindu Festival of Light, which is going on this week, also explains why there's fireworks going off, and it's not the traditional time for fireworks in the UK, at least. So, question 3. If you travelled at 90 miles an hour, how far would you get in 90 minutes? If you travelled at 90 miles an hour, how far would you get in 90 minutes, assuming you're not going to get pulled over and you're not driving anywhere where you're not allowed to do that? If you travelled at 90 miles an hour, how far would you get in 90 minutes? You'll get a bit of thinking time at the end, of course. Question number 4. Born Malcolm Little in 1925, by what name was this Muslim leader known in the USA? Born Malcolm Little in 1925, by what name was this Muslim leader known in the USA? Okay, the next question then in this round, your next question is question number 5. Which American city is nicknamed Motown? Which American city is nicknamed Motown? Dave says, my wife was in the queue with the lead singer from Culture Club at V&A Museum last week. Had a nice chat with him. Of all the people in all the world, it had to be the one I just asked a question about. How interesting. Yes, I'm glad you didn't say what the answer was as well by mistake there. Good work there. Nice. Question number 6 now. Question number 6. Which motor scooter manufacturer shares its name with a British clothing company? Which motor scooter manufacturer shares its name with a British clothing company? I'm not going to go into just yet why it's incredibly coincidental that question happens to be in this round. If you know, you know. Question number 7 now. There is one word in the English language that is always pronounced incorrectly. What is it? There is one word in the English language that is always pronounced incorrectly. What is it? Question number 8 now. Question 8. According to Hans Christian Andersen, which little girl was found inside the petals of a flower? According to Hans Christian Andersen, which little girl was found inside the petals of a flower? Question number 9 now. Question 9. Who had a face that launched 1,000 ships? Who had a face that launched 1,000 ships? Question number 10. Who did Brad Pitt fail to impress that much? Who did Brad Pitt fail to impress that much? Question 11 now. Question 11. Who are the current Earl and Countess of Wessex and the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh? The same couple of both those titles, respectively. Who are the current Earl and Countess of Wessex and the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh? For 2 points. Question 12 now. Question 12. The Crime Writers Association present which award for the best crime novel of the year? The Crime Writers Association present which award for the best crime novel of the year? Okay, your next question. Question 13. First appearing in 1963, name the Daily Mail's most famous cartoon dog. First appearing in 1963, name the Daily Mail's most famous cartoon dog. Right, the next question then. Question number 14. The village of Olney in Buckinghamshire has hosted which famous race annually since the year 1447? The village of Olney in Buckinghamshire has hosted which famous race annually since the year 1447? And your final question then, question 15. Which four countries share land borders with Pakistan? 1 point for each. Which four countries share land borders with Pakistan? 1 point for each there. And that is the end of the round. So you're running out of time to work out what the conundrum is. I will, as always, go through the answers and then reveal the countdown conundrum answer as well in just a moment. Now's the time if you want me to repeat any questions. And then we can get into our game shows rounds. So tonight we're going to do the one question from Family Fortunes, where you'll all get to work together and guess in the comments what you think the answers are. And then we'll do Tenable to finish off tonight. I've got 3 great Tenable questions for you to work out. Dave's asked for question 12 again. Question 12 was the Crime Writers Association present which award for the best crime novel of the year? The Crime Writers Association present which award for the best crime novel of the year? And 11 for Sue and the Donuts. Question 11. Who are the current Earl and Countess of Wessex? And they're also the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. It's the same couple. The Earl of Wessex / Duke of Edinburgh and the Countess of Wessex and the Duchess of Edinburgh. 1 point for each. Okay, no more requests in then, so we are going to go through the answers now. Let me know, as always, how many points you scored. If you're not watching this live, if you're just watching this back another time, please do leave some comments as well. Let me know how you're getting on. Always appreciate those comments. So here we go. Question number 1. Who was the front man in the group Culture Club? It is Boy George. Question 2. What names are given to the Hindu Festival of Light? It is Diwali or Diwali, and it's also Deepavali. Deepavali. So 1 point for Diwali with a V or a W. It gets spelt differently. And Deepavali. Okay, 2 points there. Question 3. If you travelled at 90 miles an hour, how far would you get in 90 minutes? It is 135 miles. Question 4. Born Malcolm Little in 1925, by what name was this Muslim leader known in the USA? It's Malcolm X. Malcolm X. Question 5. Which American city is nicknamed Motown? It is Detroit in Michigan. 1 point for Detroit. Question 6. Which motor scooter manufacturer shares a name with a British clothing company? It is Lambretta. Mentioned him in the last round. It was purely coincidental. These are 2 quiz rounds from 2 very different times, and they both just so happen to have Lambretta as an answer in them. I don't know how I've managed that. Question 7. There is one word in the English language that is always pronounced incorrectly. What is it? Incorrectly. Because it's always pronounced that way. Question 8. According to Hans Christian Andersen, which little girl was found inside the petals of a flower? It is Thumbelina. Question 9. Who had a face that launched 1,000 ships? That's Helen of Troy. Question 10. Who did Brad Pitt fail to impress that much? That is Shania Twain from the song That Don't Impress Me Much, of course. Question 11. Who are the current Earl and Countess of Wessex and the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh? It is Prince Edward and Sophie. It's Edward and Sophie. Question 12. The Crime Writers Association present which award for the best crime novel of the year? It's called the Golden Dagger Award. Question 13. First appearing in 1963. Name the Daily Mail's most famous cartoon dog. That is Fred Bassett. Question 14. The village of Olney in Buckinghamshire has hosted which famous race annually since the year 1447? It is the famous Olney Pancake Race. How many of you put cheese rolling, I wonder, which is another famous old race of sorts. Question 15. Which 4 countries share land borders with Pakistan? It is China, India, Afghanistan, and Iran. 1 point for each there. The answer for the countdown conundrum is sneakiest, which is interesting because that is a drink I like to have. Sneakiest. Not a sponsored video. Although I totally would if they offered it. I love that drink. Anyway, let's see how many you got then. 2 points for the countdown conundrum. 2 points as well. Remember, if you haven't used the kids bonus points question from the start of the show tonight, let me know how you've got on, and then we get into our game shows. Whilst I'll waffle on for a little bit while I wait for the scores to come in, it's just come to me now that last week we did, instead of Tenable, we did Catchphrase, which is the other game we play. And I mentioned that we're running out of catchphrase video clips based on the resource I've been using to get them from. I think we might have enough for 1, maybe 2 more quizzes to do proper catchphrases in the way we've been doing them for so long now. We are getting to the end. So unless I can find an alternative source for the same thing, then we're going to have to put either do something completely different or put something different behind the board, you know, with the squares removing. I think I know what I'm going to do, but it might just be that we mix it up a bit more, which isn't a bad thing, I suppose. If anybody's got any ideas, I'm open. I'm all ears for ideas for future quizzes. As always, do let me know. But yeah, just so you know, the next time we do catchphrase, it might be the last time we're doing actual catchphrases in that way, which is a shame because it's really fun. Right, lots of comments coming in then. I've waffled on enough for now. Jody says 8 plus 2 points. Good effort. Dave says 10 plus 2 for me. Well done. The Donuts have scored 14. Got the conundrum. Oh, nice one. 16 points for Catherine and Tony. Millie says 9 points there. No conundrum. Jodie's asking how the band's going. I'll tell you in a mo. Andy says, your calming tones were too much for me there. I lost track of the score. But of course it was amazing. Another conundrum failure. That's okay. We'll let you off given the day you've had, Andy. Don't you worry. Yeah, just before we go into the games round then, if you don't know, one of my latest things is that I'm the lead singer in a pop punk covers band. We're called Midlife Misfits. The band have been together in some shape or form for over 10 years, I think. But I've joined them this year as their new lead singer. They sang at my birthday party for my 40th last year. And I did a few songs with them then. Went really well. They took a break. Now we're officially a band as a 5-piece band. And so I'm the singer. And rehearsals have been going very well. And we've got our first gig coming up on the 29th of November, he says. Should know it off by heart by now. If you look up Midlife Misfits on social media, Facebook, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, and we're on Instagram. Don't post much on TikTok yet because we haven't got much video content. But we are on Facebook, Midlife Misfits. You'll see me on one of the pictures there. And yes, we have our first gig coming up 29th of November at the Croft Bar in Abingdon, which is where my party was last year. So it's kind of familiar territory for all of us, which is quite nice. But yeah, we've got 3 rehearsals left between now and then. And then we've already got another gig lined up in January, but we're not saying where or when yet. And loads of other interested parties. So this is exciting times. Thank you for asking. I love to talk about it more, but now is not the time. You can't wait to hear the band. Yeah, it's going to be so fun. The songs we do, so good. If you like Blink 182, Green Day, Sum 41, Newfound Glory, Bowling for Soup, that kind of stuff, and lots of other things we do too. We do some typical covers that most covers bands do. You will love us. It's going to be great fun. Catchphrases, my absolute favorite quiz show ever. Have loved solving them together. I know it's so good. I will try and find more, but I know I'm running out, and I don't know where else I could get them from in the same quality. Yeah. All right, let's go on to our survey says. Keep chatting though. I'm always happy to answer more questions about stuff. Which makes a change because normally it's me asking you questions. The question for this one though is on screen now, and you can jump in the comments, type in all your guesses. Let's see how quick you can work out the top 6. 100 people were surveyed. We've got the top 6 most popular answers here. You need to tell us, name something you buy that is mostly used in the mornings. I will narrow this down, or at least narrow your mind into your thinking here, that this was taken from a Les Dennis presented Family Fortune show from 1996. I don't think it really changes much, to be honest, because life hasn't changed that much. But just to put things into context, that's where I got this question from. Something you buy that is mostly used in the mornings. I'll reveal the answers as you guess them, if indeed they are correct. So, first guess I can see there, we've got Dave saying kettle. Is it there? Our survey says. It's not there, I'm afraid. No. Okay, toothbrush. Toothbrush is guessed now. Toothbrush is number 6. That's the least popular one found. First one found on the list. Cereal, says Andy over on YouTube. Cereal is the top answer. Great work there. Hairbrush, says Sue. It's hairbrush there. It wouldn't be if you asked me. Actually, no, that's a lie. I do have a brush. I've got to brush this, although it's crazy today. It's not there, though, I'm afraid. I have a heated brush. Look, it's right here. I'll show you. Look, I've got a heated brush. It's really fancy. And it's bloody broken. I've had it for a good few years, in fairness. I was devastated. Still works, but it's not the same. Also, it's exposed a very hot part of the brush, so it heats up. I've got to be really careful. Anyway, waffling on again. Right, we've got coffee and milk. Coffee and milk. Are either of those there? Let's have a look, shall we? Milk is there. Coffee is not. Now we have got an alarm clock. An alarm clock, yes. This is before we all had fancy mobile phones with alarms in, although they would have had alarms, I suppose, then. Just the basic ones. But no, alarm clock is not there. Deodorant, is deodorant there? I thought deodorant was there. Oh, I know what that is. Hold on. That's why. Yeah, it's 7 answers. It should be. Should be. Wow. It's not there, but it is there. Number 7 is deodorant. We've got porridge. Is porridge one of the answers? Let's have a look. Porridge. New newspapers guess though. Sue's guessed newspaper, as maybe as some others. No, just Sue. That's number 3. Toaster. Is toaster there? There's a good guess. That's number 5. Yes, Andy's gone with newspaper as well there. Coffee, bread. Coffee we've already guessed. That's not there. Bread. Is bread one of the answers? No. Hairdryer. No. Toaster, newspaper, razor. Not there. No. There is. So where are we? Number 2 is connected to one of the other answers. Okay. Why is that not working then? That's annoying me now. There we go. There we go. There's your deodorant. I'm going to put it in the middle because that's going to bug me otherwise. Deodorant, told you, it was there. Toothpaste has been guessed. Toothpaste. Yes, that's the missing answer. You worked it out. Well done. Not tea. No, it is toothpaste. So, things you buy in the morning, mostly used in the morning, rather. Cereal, toothpaste, newspapers, milk, toaster, toothbrush, and deodorant. Good work, everybody. We're going to move on then now to our tenable game. So here's the tenable tower screen. You are going to have 3 tenable questions. Guess in the comments again. You're all working again as one team to work out the tenable tower's answers. And your first question will be, the 10 Monopoly spaces nearest go to jail. So the 5 either side of go to jail. Not the jail square, the go to jail square. All right? There is the first tenable tower. You guess in the comments, and then I will reveal where they are, if indeed they're there. And we'll see how quickly you can get all 10. Don't worry if you can't. If you can't, I'll give you a reasonable amount of time still. But if you can't, it's no problem. Okay. We do have some guesses coming in. Pall Mall is the first one. Do we have Pall Mall on the list? Let's have a look. It's not there. Not Pall Mall. Piccadilly is guessed now. Piccadilly. Piccadilly's number 5 on the list, so it's right next to it. Very good. Waterworks from Dave. Waterworks, where's that? And that's number 4. Okay. Angel Islington. Is the Angel Islington there? No, not there. Regent Street. Is Regent Street one of them? Another guess there from Andy. Regent Street. Well done. Trafalgar Square. Let's have a look. Is Trafalgar one of the answers? Is that a tenable answer? No, it is untenable. Okay, what else have we got here that I haven't said yet? Fleet Street. Fleet Street. Let me check my list. Fleet Street, let's have a look. No, it's not there. We've got Bond Street being guessed there. Bond Street from Dave and Tony. Bond Street's number 9. These are in order. So if you know what's next to these ones, then you're going to know, or what's potentially next to these ones, then you'll know what they are. Liverpool Street Station, Coventry Street's guessed there. Let's go with Coventry Street first. That's higher up in the responses there. Very good. Fleet Street's not there. I don't know if I said that one, but Fleet Street's not correct. But that was Coventry Street. Coventry Street, Bond Street. Yeah, we've done that. Leicester Square. Let's check out Leicester Square. Is that a tenable answer? Yes. Okay. Baker Street. We've got Chance and then Community Chest guessed there. Community Chest is there. Chance is not there. Fenchurch Street Station. Yes, Tony's gone with Community Chest as well. Well done. You got that one. Fenchurch Street Station is the top one. So we need 7 and 10. Let me see. Liverpool Street Station's been guessed. I missed that one. Liverpool Street is that one there. I'm just going to scroll through the comments now and see. No. I don't think this one's been guessed. So the one that's missing is a street that's named after a city. Andy's gone with Oxford Street. I'm sorry if I missed it elsewhere. That's the first time I've seen that though in the comments. Oxford Street is correct. There's the completed list. The 10 Monopoly spaces nearest go to jail. Well done. Yeah, not King's Cross, no. Although you have been to the life-sized experience in London. Oh, that sounds amazing. There's so many fun things to do in London. It's just so expensive to get there if you don't live in London. So expensive. My God, the trains are extortionate. Right. Let's go to your next question. We're on to politics with this one. I need you to tell me the 10 prime ministers either side of John Major. So the 5 that preceded him and the 5 that followed him. And they will be in that order in your tenable tower. So the most recent of them is going to be at the top, and the oldest of them will be the last on the list at the bottom there, number 10. Obviously, you guess them in whatever order you want, but that will help work out who it's likely to be if you're unsure, because you might know again who was either side of them. I'd never even heard of the one in the 10th place. Just point of interest. So the 10 prime ministers either side of John Major. And we have guesses coming in. Jim Callaghan or James Callaghan is number 7. Thank you, Catherine. Gordon Brown and Tony Blair. Guesses from Dave there, and Andy and Jodie are saying Tony Blair as well. Well, let's do Gordon Brown first. Where's he on the list? And Tony Blair. Yes. There we go. 5 and 4. Theresa May. Is she on the list? And that's number 2. Well done to Tony and to Dave on that one. David Cameron, says Millie. David Cameron should be, if you look at the order so far. Yes, that's number 3. Well done. Boris Johnson, of course, Boris Johnson. If Theresa May is number 2, then Boris Johnson is going to be number 1 at the top of the list, isn't he? There we go, there's Boris. Okay, yes, David Cameron we've revealed there, and Margaret Thatcher. Maggie Thatcher should be number 6. There you go. Now we're getting to the older ones. So 8, 9, and 10. Who was before James Callaghan? I'll just again go back through the comments. Edward Heath. Okay, Ted Heath. That's number 9. I don't think I've seen the other ones. No. Okay, so who is number 8? And number 10. Number 10 was a Tory. Number 8 was Labour. If that makes any difference to you at all. Not that it matters too much these days which one they say they are. Harold Wilson. Andy says Harold Wilson. Yes, that was number 8. So, number 10. He had a double-barreled surname. That narrows it down. As I said, I'd never heard of this person. My knowledge of prime ministers, because you hear when you're at school and you're learning history and that, you hear obviously about like Winston Churchill during the war, and then there's a gap, and then it catches up with more recent memory for older generations, with where we are on the list at the moment. That's how I view it. I had no idea. And nobody's guessed who it is either. So I'm guessing, regardless of your age, everybody's forgotten this one. I think he was only Prime Minister for a year. if I remember rightly when I was double checking. Ah, Alex Douglas Home. Hume. Yeah, you're close enough there. Alex Douglas Home. There it is. Honestly, never heard of him. There you go. Again, every day's a school day. Well done to Catherine and well done to Dave as well. Definitely close enough with those guesses. Well done. That's completed that Tenable Tower, and we're on to your final one already. We are making good time today. Due to finish at 9:30. The first 10 six-letter words ending in the letters GHT, alphabetically speaking, of course, as they appear in a standard dictionary, British dictionary. So the first 10 words that are 6 letters long and end in the letters GHT. This was the championship round at the end for the money in this particular episode, and they managed to get it right at the very end. Thought they were out, and one of them went, "Oh, I know. Is it this?" So let's see how quickly we can get these. Bright and bought have been guessed. So let's go with bright first. Feels like that should be there. Yes, and if that's there, bought should be there too. A light. Andy's gone with a light. So well done firstly to Dave and to Millie for getting the first two. Andy's gone with a light. Jodie said blight as well, actually. Let's have a look at that. Good one. Yes, that's number 2. Fight, Catherine said. Fight! Let's have a look. Is fight in the list? It is. Of course, this is an alphabetical list, so as we fill in the gaps, you'll be able to work out where in the alphabet the others sit. Height. Let's have a look. Is height there? That's number 9. Well done to Dave on that one. Tony says lights. Is lights there? If it is, it's the last one. It's not going to be there, I'm afraid. No. So it's got to be before that alphabetically now, hasn't it? Flight was a typo for fort. That's interesting. You've accidentally got one and you did guess the other. That's amazing. There you go. Flight. I've put in some typos there, haven't I? Fort. What else have we got? Fights. No. Fright. Fright. Here we go. That's what I'm looking for. Court. Very good guessing tonight, guys. Very good guessing. And the last one. This is the one they got stuck on. Was it this one? Well, this was one of the 2 they got stuck on right at the end. Because you got to think outside the box for this one. I'll give you some clues. But as this is the last one, championship point, as they say in other sports. It's a silent letter at the start of it. That should narrow it down for you. What do we think? Number 10, it's got to come after H alphabetically, or after height at least alphabetically. And it's also a silent letter at the start. Oh, interesting. Guesses. Yeah, it can't be 8 because we're already up to H. But Jodie's gone with knight, as in a knight in shining armor. And she is our knight in shining armor, our saviour. Although Catherine as well has got there with knight. That completes the list and our Tenable Tower. Very well done, everybody. You have done it. I wish I had the same amount of money to give you that they won on that show because you smashed it. But that brings us to the end of that. Okay, so some reminders then before you all run away. We have got 2 shows in November coming up. That's the 4th and the 18th. But if you're Patreon members, which most of you watching are, you can join me next week. We are going to be doing Quiz Kid, which is down there. Quiz Kid is what we did last month. Got another new quiz that we're going to do this time using that same fun new app that I've been given beta access to, so that we can play test it some more. I'm delighted to say they've told me that the next feature they're going to introduce is based on the feedback that I gave them following our show that we did last month, and a lot of other feedback. I'm actually speaking to them again on Thursday. They're going to be introducing round by round scores rather than it all be in one complete quiz in one go. So you can and will be able to separate things out and do, this round's finished, here's the scores, here's the winner, here's the next round, there's the scores, there's the winner. We're going to talk more about that on Thursday together and work out how it should work. But they were really pleased with all the feedback I passed on from our first night, and they're looking forward to hearing what you think again as we do more next week. So that is going to be really cool. If you want to join in, like I said, there's a free trial. So just go to the link in the description of this video, look for Patreon, or just Google Big Quiz Night In Patreon, or message me. I'll send you the details. You can have a free trial. Join us next week on Google Meet. I'll send you all the details. It's dead easy. And you can have a chat with us, join in with that quiz just for fun, totally different to what we do here. Not just Quiz Kid, we do lots of other things too. And if you like it, you can become a full member, and there's a tiered structure to your membership, whatever you prefer, whatever you can afford to pay. It all helps cover all the effort it takes to do all this and the time it takes to do all this. So please do. And also, Patreon Quiz Night's great fun. It's so nice to chat to you all and actually see you talking back to me. It's amazing. Right, quick look at the comments then, and I'll let you go. Millie's very excited for Patreon. Quiz Kid was great last time. It was. Thank you. Excellent quiz, Tony says. Really enjoyed it. Good. Andy survived till the end. Brilliant quiz, Chris. Thank you. Catherine says, thank you. That was great. We are having some technical problems, but really enjoyed the quiz. Oh, well done, you. Thank you. You are more than welcome, guys. Jodie's there. Thank you very much. Thanks once again. Dave says, for a great quiz and a great evening. Good. I'm really pleased you all enjoyed it, folks. It's great to have you here. And yes, November 4th, November 18th for the next Facebook Lives, and then the Christmas special. Always good fun, that. Christmas special on the 16th of September, all Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock start. Patreon quiz starts at 8:30, by the way. That's the other little difference, if you're wondering. And that brings us to the end of the quiz. If you've watched a repeat of this, if you're not watching live, please do still leave us comments. Let us know and give the video a like or a positive emoji reaction before you move on. Much appreciated. I will see you all same time next time for more of the same fun. Cheers. Good night.